Well, here we go. The first bridge here. Oh, the green one. That's the railway, which is dwarfed by the structure behind it, which is the motorway one. It looks like they're doing a bit of work on the motorway too. Quite noisy even down here. Hopefully I can get this on this camera for you, because it is such a large structure. Just look at that. Now that is just to get over that. Once again, like the viaduct one that I did, you forget that it's actually a valley that it's got to get over. Unfortunately, these trees here that they've put up at the side is blocking the view. I might get a better view from it from the other side. But it'll give you some idea once I get underneath it. You know, those are some H girders up there, as they call them there, not RSJs. Look at that. Now, once again, this young lad, as I had to walk down the canal bank with, he told me they used to put rope swings up there and be swinging out on it. A bloody madmen, really. But it was all young and daft once, weren't we? Wasn't we? Not won't we? Very Wiganese that then. Won't we? Yeah, I think there's a little gap through here. We'll just negotiate these puddles here. Do a bit of sidestepping here. Soft shoe shuffle. Mr. H. Light on his feet. There we go, that gives you some idea. Unfortunately the sun's shining in the camera lens. It's not what I wanted, but just look at that structure there. Amazing. Amazing. There's the scene looking back. Now we should get to the Lot Keepers Cottage here. I don't know if this is in private hands now. I should imagine it probably is. You know, bargees, as we're calling them for this walk, are expected to deal with the lock gates themselves now and carry keys, like a big iron thing. So there's nobody comes out and deals with the lock gates anymore. So most of the houses are private, and this one I should imagine will be no different. But just look at that for a magnificent house, eh? And what a view! What a view! And I'll bet they've paid next to nothing for that house when it first got sold, because they'd have been in such a poor condition. There'd been nothing in there, no electric, I should imagine, or very basic if it was in. Bet they named their own price for that now if they wanted. Right then, we'll make our way down this. Goes down a bit here. Old cobbles. A little bit of a weir there. Water running in. I believe there's a weir in the fields. Again, this young lad made me aware of this. I didn't know it was there. So it leads me to believe that he may be telling me the truth with regards to those underground bunkers near the old rubber artworks. And there's the view of that house from this side. Lovely. Lovely. Right then, it's back to my ugly mug, I'm afraid. Well, that's it, we're out in the fields now. So I left we're leaving the motorway behind, should I say. You can probably just still hear it in the background. But we're well on our way to Appley Bridge now. Beyond Appley Bridge, of course, if you was to continue, lies Purbull. You know, I believe there's a little marina type thing though. You know, and then you can get into Purbull village itself. So you can cover quite a few miles on the canal bank if you've got the time and the inclination. As I say, we'll go as far as Appley Bridge, the road bridge though, and then we'll turn around and get back because we're limited with time. Fortunately, I'm in a position where I can get the odd afternoon and come out for a walk. Of course, I know not everybody's in that position either. So this is a bit of a boring stretch, really. Try and get the light there, rather than seeing me in as a dark shadow. The other day when I came down here, I had a little bit of a funny one. I found a dog collar just on the canal bank here, just in the grass as I'm walking in now. And I picked it up, and there was no name on it. No, there was no dog's name on it. It just said, "I am chipped," and a telephone number. Now I could see as the dog collar was pretty new, and I thought, well, what do I do here, you know? I could end up ringing up somebody here and say, look, I found your dog's collar. And they could be in tears because they've lost the dog, you know. Get involved in all that, but I thought I'll do the right thing, I'll ring up. So I did. And it just rang out, so I then texted and said, look, I've got your dog's collar. I told them where I'd found it, you know, on my way to Appley Bridge, near motorway bridge type of thing. Please contact me so I can return it to you. Anyway, a little bit later, the fella texted me back. Now I put my name at the end, I put Roy at the end, and he says, how do you know my name type of thing? And he says, are you called Roy as well? And I said, yeah. He says, oh, those are rarity, you don't meet many Roys. And, well, you don't, it's a pretty unique name. But anyway, I ended up meeting him at the baby elephant there, and I returned his dog's collar. His dog had gone broke out. He got his dog back, but minus his collar. And he wondering where collar had ended up. So I told him, you know. As I said, I've got dogs of my own and the little escape artists. So anyway, I thought, well, I've done my duty, you know, I've done somebody a favour there, and it's a good feeling when you can help somebody out, really. I'm that type of person, really. If I can help somebody, I will. Rather do them a good turn than a thick 'un, as my father used to say. A thick 'un, another Wigan word for you there, which means do them a disservice or a bad turn type of thing. For those of you not from round here. Well, it's lovely and quiet here in this area now. I may just put the camera on this view, which as lovely as this view is, you know, it doesn't beat the view in front of me. Well, we're out in the sticks now. We've managed to get away from the motorway bridge and the remainder of Wigan, and it's just all fields from here on in. Just look at that, you can't beat it, can you? Now over there, I don't know if you can see on this camera, is where that weir is. Unfortunately, I haven't got suitable footwear on to make my way across that field and go and have a look at it. That's another video for another day. But I didn't know that was there. It was that young lad I was telling you about. He mentioned it. Like I said, he was quite knowledgeable about the Wigan area. You know, it's the first time I've known Uries still be referred to as John Pitt and that from his generation. You know, normally they don't know names of old things, but he did. Looked a bit of a rumman, as my mother used to say. Another Wigan word for you there, a rumman. For anybody who doesn't know what that means, it means look quite a character. But I was a bit wary of him, if I'm being honest, when I was passing him, you know. Sadly, that's how you've got to be these days. You know, I've had a few people look at me a bit warily with having a shaved head and being a biggish bloke, but we shouldn't just go judge a book by the cover, but I'm afraid we all do. That's about as close as we're going to get to that weir today. But we will go and have a look at that, I promise you. It's something I'd like to go and have a little look at. Partly because I didn't know it was here. And the sun's made an appearance, Hot Potters. What more can you ask for? Right then, well, we're heading away from where that weir is now. And we're coming up to the remains of an old swing bridge. Which, again, according to my source, my very good friend, the fella I met down here, he says used to be for the farm that's on the other side of this railway line on my right hand side. You know, to allow him to move his cattle underneath the railway, across the canal and into this field here on my left hand side. This bridge to me doesn't look like it's been moved in many a year, as you'll see in a bit when I show you. Likewise, the path that lays at the back of it, like a little tunnel that goes underneath the railway, that doesn't look like anyone or anything has been down it in many a year. So where he gets his vehicles into this field now, I don't know. Probably comes up the canal bank. Right then, we'll take a little look at this swing bridge. What's left of it. I wouldn't like to move it now, it'd probably creak and groan in protest. So, this is that swing bridge. Now, as you can see, it doesn't look like it's moved in many a year, that one. And there's the path just beyond it under that tunnel, and that looks very overgrown too. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. Now, I often wonder with these little swing bridges whether it's British Waterways' responsibility to maintain it, or whether it's actually the farmer. You know, he should pay, what do they call it, a peppercorn rent or something like that, to have it maintained, and obviously he's decided I'll find another way in rather than pay British Waterways to maintain it. Certainly there's grass growing on it and that, so I don't think that would move even if you tried. Now over here would lead into his fields. Now it doesn't look like anything's been in them. That path there leads to that weir that we'll go and have a look at another time. So we're going to push on now and head that way towards Appley Bridge. Well folks, we've made it. We're at the back end of Appley Bridge, and those houses that you can see on my right hand side are the new houses that they built at the side of the canal bank a while ago. Now, I believe this area is known as Heron Wharf. I'm not going to pretend I know any of the history of it, I don't. I'll leave that to others. But they look bonny houses. No doubt they carry a bonny price tag and a bonny council tax band as well. I'll stick with my band here, property, thank you very much. Does the same job, doesn't it? Puts a roof over your head. Now, I couldn't afford something like that, that's why I'm saying that. Even if I can afford to go to Disneyland Paris. Anyway, I think just round here there's another one of those swing bridges. But this one's actually in use, you know. So we can take a little look at that with a bit of luck. Bit more mud on this canal bank here. That's what we're doing. Again, we start coming into a built-up area, so you start seeing more people. Which isn't a bad thing. It isn't a bad thing. Although sometimes I just personally like getting out and miles away from anyone. That's why the moors appeal to me so much. But you don't have to go miles away to get out and about in the fresh air, as I'm proving here. Now, with a bit of luck, I should get the old jalopy back. One or two of you may remember I used to do videos from the car up in Wrightington, up on Hunters Hill. That was my little outside studio type of thing. Unfortunately, with my car being off the road, I've not been able to do that. I mean, she's an old girl. She's from the year 2000, when she rolled off the production line there in Germany. And she's getting to that age now where they're really big garage bills. So I'm having to sort of weigh up if the next big thing comes, if I'll be getting a repaired or whether I'll be investing in a new vehicle. I don't really want to, if I'm being honest. for no other reason than my late mother bought it me. It was the last thing she bought, and she said, oh, pay me back when you can. And then she never did, you know, and I never did pay her back, bless her. So I try and keep it on the road for her sake. But I'm sure, whoever she is, she wouldn't want to see me keep throwing money at it. So it'll be a decision I may have to take sometime. Right. Hello there. Just passing some people there. Like I say, quite muddy here, so you've got to step in sometimes and allow other people to pass. Oh dear. You know, I wish I'd put my wellies on there. Although I know many of you frown on that, don't you? Many of you walkers. You don't walk in wellies. You don't come up in trainers either, like I've done. Mrs H will kill me. Right then, yeah, so hopefully I can get the jalopy back and I can be out and about again, you know, going places. Probably take the girls with me though. Anyway, enough of my automobile problems. We've arrived at this swing bridge, so we can probably see how these would work up and down here. So I'll turn the camera over to the face of the front, shall I? And there we have one of them swing bridges in use. Very similar in design, although this one's got barriers on both sides, probably because the public's on it. You know, you can see how it would turn there underneath. I'll just step across and see how it would work. Obviously you push it using that, a bit like a lock gate, and it'll open, running on a track. See if we can get down there. Yeah, wheels on it there, and that's how they work. Probably need a few of you to push something like that, because the fulcrum's not in the middle. There's a word from the building days, fulcrum. Just see, I think there's a lock on it to stop people doing what I'm going to attempt to do now. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to Finch Mill Swing Bridge. As you can see though, we're not that far off Parbold. Although, tempted as I am to continue, I will call it a day when we get further up, otherwise this video's going to go on for about 6 hours, isn't it? By the hell, I can frage me when I start off. Another Wigan word for you there, frage. Which means talk. I can talk a lot. So yeah, hopefully I can get more out and about. If anybody who watches these videos has any suggestions, you know, sensible suggestions, of places they'd like to see me visit and go and have a walk round, by all means, leave your comments below. Because, much knowledgeable as I am, being on this planet, 43 years now, I don't know where everything is, you know. And some people do turn up the odd surprise for me, you know. Like Mr. Northerner with his little walk up through to Adlington, and although I've been there before, you know, it was nice to be reminded of that. You know, I hope many of you enjoyed that video. So like I say, if anybody does have any ideas where I could go, by all means leave your comments and I'll see if I can get round to going. Because I certainly intend getting out more, you know, and getting rid of this. I've been carrying it round long enough. So we're at Heron Wharf itself now. Another little boating marina type of thing. Boats moored. I always find, you know, some of the names on these are amazing. You know, like that one, Masterpiece. You know, it makes you wonder how they get the names and what inspires them. long as there's nothing offensive, you know, the dog's bollocks or something like that. Right then, as I turn this corner now, I should start seeing the road bridge that we're going to make to, and where our walk unfortunately ends. But I've enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed your company. Hopefully you've enjoyed mine. So, we'll take a little look round now at this area, at Appley Bridge end, and then it'll be me signing off. Woohoo, I hear you all cry. No, I'm sure you're not saying that. Right then, we want to take a little look at this area because it's quite picturesque. And here we have all the boats moored up here. That looks a bit crap, that little one there, doesn't it? Nah, I'm sure it's very nice. I'm sure it's very nice. Just lovely. Like I say, if anyone does know, just out of interest, how much it costs to moor a boat up, you know, with the waterways, because I believe you've got to license them as well. You know, you'll see that they'll have a plate on them. I don't think you can see that one in that first window there on your right hand side. That's the sort of number plate for it, 53523, British Waterways. You know, you can't just come along and plonk a little boat on and away you go. It doesn't work like that. Ooh, that banging, it sounds like somebody's pile driving over there. It's a building work. I wonder what's going on over there. I won't have a mooch today. Little bit of a boating house there, a little marina. You can get a snack and things like that. And you've been on your travels, your canal travels. As you can see, some people are enjoying that. Right then, we're going to make our way to this road bridge. Yeah, we're on the last little stretch now. Just round this corner, and then I'll get the other side, have a little minute, and then make my way back. It's not been a bad walk, this, all in all. Been a nice day, for once. And the paths haven't been too bad. I've been able to negotiate them. They're not as bad as I thought they would have been, in all honesty. So, here we are, in Appley Bridge, where the posh folk of Wigan live. Like me. No, I'm only kidding, only kidding. Once an inter, always an inter. There's some houses here that back right onto the canal. And I often wonder, I saw the one guy the other day, he was sort of wrapping his fishing stuff up, and I thought, I wonder if you have a permit for fishing here. I know, if you fancy doing a bit of night-time fishing, which you're not allowed to do, off his back doorstep, there's nothing stopping him, is there? Now he's going to come. Can't tell him get off canal side, can they? Right then, we also cross over into West Lancashire here, from Greater Manchester. It really chaves me having said that. Another Wigan word for you, chave. I do. Yeah, really annoys me that having said Greater Manchester. Luckily, I can always say I was born in Lancashire. Just. They went over in April and I was born in March. Let's get through these little gates, so. Get that, one time I wouldn't have been able to do that. When I had my other stone on my back. Right then. We're here. We're at the canal bridge, at Appley Bridge. Well, we made it. All I have to do now is head back. Well folks, sadly that brings us to the end of today's walk. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've certainly enjoyed bringing you along. And hopefully you'll join me when I'm out and about again soon. So, from me, Mr H, it is bye bye for now.